All right, I think Dr. Wilson is up again to, is there a motion to approve the graduation plan?
Say, Pam, before we get that far, we've received word from our attorney late this afternoon. So the plan that's submitted, I don't know if we can really, well, we can't approve it, but we should probably discuss some options prior to going into it.
Okay, so this should have moved to the information discussion probably.
Well, it could have, or it could stay here depending on what direction you choose to go. It could stay here.
Would you like us just to officially, I mean, technically, I think what we need to do is approve the graduation date change, probably.
Yes, that's the most important part.
And then we can discuss the plan if you want to share any changes. Okay, so would there be a, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there a motion to approve the graduation date as May 22nd, 2020?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Dan Houlihan. I heard him first, and I'll second it by Travis Bowman. Is there any discussion? Okay. Okay, by roll call vote, we're approving the graduation date as May 22nd, 2020. Jeff?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
And Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Pam, yes, and by roll call vote, 7 yes, graduation date has been approved. Now, do we want to discuss any graduation plans, or is that going to come out? Okay.
Want me to go? We received some information actually received it this afternoon from our district lawyer. And that came from the working session on Thursday that you wanted us to check out, make sure it was all kosher with the lawyer. Well, lawyers do what lawyers do, and they suggested that based on their understanding from guidances that no student should be let out of a vehicle to receive a diploma. So in the plan, as we have it currently, they would get out one by one to receive their diploma, maintaining social distancing and all necessary guidelines, group size of under 10 and that sort of thing. But in the guidance, how it reads, it says students should not get out of their vehicle. The lawyer also said that he was aware that there are schools that are doing this. And I had a survey put out to our graduates probably about 10 days ago or so. And I'm not trying to persuade you or anything, but I'm just based on public comment and just that collaborative effort and making sure that voices are heard. 75.2% of those respondent, which was over half of the graduating class, said that it was either very important or the most important to walk across the stage and receive their diploma. So that's something that the survey showed. So really, I guess we know that we're on a time crunch. We want to get information out to families, and it really comes down to how what the board feels and believes is a plan going forward. I think an alternative would be pretty much the only alternative would be staying in their vehicle and receiving their diploma like a kind of a drive-through situation.
I say let them get out of the dang vehicle. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Say don't agree.
This is quite disappointing. You know, an effort to try to make it very meaningful for our graduates and our parents and just the community at large.
We've gone through several different avenues of planning, and once we tweaked our plan to fall into line with LeSueur County Public Health guidelines, which I felt like they were really they were hard on us. I think the first time that Mr. Whitehurst and I presented to them, and when we came up with a plan that we thought could work and still be very honorable towards our graduates, we were pretty happy to get the nod. But the lawyer is advising what I shared. So
Has he talked about signing waivers?
we
To
did
release
ask him
all-
about that. He didn't think that would make a difference in the long haul. One thing that I wonder is if a person doesn't feel comfortable getting out and walking across the stage, we could take it to their car.
Yeah, I watched that webinar that they had, the Minnesota State School Board, and they basically said that we could be liable if they could prove that we were negligent. So, I mean, if we cover all of our bases and have a plan in place and do what we're supposed to do, I think the least we could do is let the kids walk up, and I think we should set the precedence. That's my feelings, and I have more, but that's all I'm going to share now.
In continual conversation with area schools, particularly those even larger than us, there are some schools that are walking across the stage similar to what we had planned out as well. And again, like Travis said, taking the proper precautions of guidances.
Well, let's face it. It's the picture opportunity that people are looking for. When they're sitting in a car, there's really no potential for that. And there are ways. I mean, I went to Menards. My God, it's wall-to-wall people in there, but they'll want you to wear masks and stuff. This is just not that serious if it's done right. I mean, certainly some of our staff or whoever could wear gloves or a mask or something to hold the danger to the student down to some degree. And that might even be a good picture op, because that's the way they'd explain to their kids someday how their graduation went. It would be picture proof of it. But this car thing is stupid. Just very stupid. We got to figure out a way to get around that.
Can you clarify what you mean by that, Dan? The car thing is stupid? You mean the...
Yes, it's ignorant. It's stupid. They're in a car. They're probably in it with other people. I mean, there's all kinds of things that are problematic from that standpoint. How much safer is it there? Are they going to have a pigeon fly the diploma over to the car window for them? Or is somebody going to go hand it to them? And how close are they going to be then? It's stupid.
Amen.
Okay, and that, I just wanted to clarify if you thought the parade was, I just wanted to clarify that is the car and all of that. That's what I wanted to clarify, so thank you.
They can decorate the cars. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
But
fun.
not letting them out of it is not a good idea.
From our understanding with the lawyer, the parade was not a problem. Students would be in their cars. It was after that. And I should also say that in the last little while, we've been able to connect with each of the communities. We've gotten the thumbs up and green light from our community leaders, and we were able to contact local law enforcement and emergency responders, and so we'll have fire departments represented to lead the parade, local law enforcement as well.
What do you need, a motion to let them go across the stage or what?
We can have hand sanitizer at the beginning and at the end, and then...
And really, they're not touching anything except they're picking up their own diploma and picking up one rose out of a bucket. So their contact to people themselves are really limited. My understanding is that the virus dies in a couple of minutes outside. It looks like it's going to be 80 degrees, and so it probably will die even sooner. So we'll make sure to have all the things out there in ample amount of time.
And I do appreciate you asking the attorney, because I do think that that's something, unfortunately, you have to be cognizant of. But I agree. I think it's important to celebrate it, and the walk across the stage alone is, I think, the least we can do.
Yes.
I had somebody ask me a question today.
Yes, Jay.
Whose liability is it if there would happen to be an accident during the parade? This is a question that came to me this afternoon.
Car insurance.
Well, we ran the whole concept by our district attorney, and he did not have a problem with that. So I would think that would be the first thing. And that was my concern asking is, I mean, you have all these cars lined up, and then you're traveling, and my fear is, you're traveling a fair amount of miles, and I do worry about that a little bit, but I'm a worrywart. So
one thing LeSueur County deputy did tell me, I talked to Nick Greenig, so I think he's the assistant deputy sheriff in LeSueur County, and he said that we want to make sure we put out there in our correspondence with parents that they should obey all traffic signs and lights, be precautious, as traditional parade route would typically say to those that are traveling on the parade route. And one point that he did make that I've included in the plans now at this point is that no emergency responder vehicle or parent driving a vehicle or student driving a vehicle should have any whistles, sirens, or flashing lights when traveling on Highway 60, just because it is a state highway and it's not in the official parade route through the communities, and we don't want to draw any more attention to a situation that might be a dangerous situation. So that has been included as well. And that was really Deputy Greenig's one comment about that and safety protocol and that sort of thing. Other communities have been, their fire departments, if we have one fire truck in parades, they have been vocal about saying if you need support for during the parade routes and making sure any kind of traffic control, that their other members of their department would be willing to help control that as well, including on 60 as cars would take that left to go towards Elysian.
One other comment. I think we also need to inform everybody that after they get their diplomas, maybe it'd be best if they got off school grounds to do whatever they wanted to do. And that would maybe relieve liability of all of us in the school district. If they wanted to do whatever they wanted to do.
what do you mean?
But if you need a motion, I will make the motion that we have a graduation the way you guys had it set up.
Do you think there should be a waiver signed by students, Joel?
We did talk to Kevin Rupp regarding that, and he said it doesn't do any good to sign a waiver.
Second.
And we'll always leave the option, if people aren't comfortable with either driving in the parade or coming up to get their diploma, they can opt out.
That's right, we're in Waterville.
Okay, so Travis Bowman's made the motion and Gary Michael has seconded to have the graduation parade and walk across the stage for the class of 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff? I think he said yes. Okay. John?
Yes.
Travis,
Absolutely, yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Pam, yes. By motion, roll call vote, 7 yes, motion carries. And again, I
Thank you
just want to
very much.
reiterate we want to reiterate our appreciation for you, Jennifer and Joel, and everybody involved at the school for going through these hoops. Okay, next item up, all right, is to approve the master agreement with teachers with the WEMEA Teachers Association, total package increase over the 2 years of 6.75% total package.
So move.
Okay, that was Gary, I'm assuming. Is there a second? Travis Bowman seconded. Okay, so Gary Michael made the motion and Travis Bowman seconded to approve the teacher's contract with a total package increase of 6.75 over the 2 years. As a lead on the negotiations committee, I just want to say, again, we came together about a week and a half ago with the teachers. It is essentially equates to 2.56 the first year and 4.19 year 2. Again, they made some insurance adjustments to going to PEEP that resulted in some cost savings on their end. And it was just a good discussion, dialogue, and I believe everybody had the contract attached to their board book agenda. One change late in the game was that we had to remove the language in regard to fair share and call it dues. Is there any other discussion or questions about the contract? Okay, then we'll go by roll call vote. Joel, you didn't have anything to add, did you?
No, not at this point. It was interesting. I was reviewing my notes, and I think the first day we met was May 8th, 2019, and the final day we met was May 7th, 2020. So it took a year to get this completed. So I think it's a good time to move on and get it settled.
Thank you. All right, by roll call vote, Jeff? Okay, I read his lips. It said yes. John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Pam, yes. Motion carries by roll call vote, 7 yes. All right. Our goal was to also have a couple other contracts available to review tonight, but they're not quite ready. So expect some additional contracts for other groups to come for at the the June meeting. All right, personnel. Before we get too far into this, I just want to see if I can get any sense from you guys, rather than going individual roll call vote for each person, since we are meeting electronically. Are we able to just go with group C, group as a group, group D as a group, talk about E as an individual item, talk about F as an individual item? Is that acceptable? Or do you want to run through roll call vote individually by person? I take that as individually by person. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to talk it through before you had to put up with listening to me call off your name 20 times, okay? Okay, so moving along then, first of all on the personnel list is a letter of retirement from Deb Byrne. Am I saying her name correctly? Deb Byrne. Special education paraprofessional, effective June 1st, 2020. I want to note that Deb has been with the district for 21 years as a paraprofessional. So we appreciate her, thank her for her years of service. Is there a motion to accept and approve the letter of retirement?
So moved.
I'll second it. Jay Schneider made the motion, Pam Baker seconded to approve the retirement letter from Deb Byrne. Is there any discussion?
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to thank her for her service and dedication to the WEM district. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff?
Yes.
Thumbs up. John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Pam, yes. Motion carries by roll call vote 7-0. Okay, the next item up is a FIED position to approve Brooke Natras. Is it just like mattress, only Natras? Okay. For a physical of 1.0 FTE, physical education health teacher date at a BS step 2, $32,697. And then actually, since we approved the contract, I apologize, the BS step 2, $30,744. Is there a motion to approve that contract?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Travis Bowman made the motion and Jay Schneider seconded to approve the contract for Brooke Natras. Is there any discussion? Is there any background that you'd like to share with us about Brooke?
Sure. For Brooke, she came with a ton of energy. She is going to be a new grad or is a recent new grad. And she has very diversified and very unique experience with the DAPE population. She had some really great experiences in that area with all levels of physically challenged students. And it went all the way from kindergarten all the way through seniors, and she even had some adult experience as well. So I think that complements nicely with students that are transitioning to the workforce or the other avenues after high school. She also is very organized, appears to be very organized. She had a great reference check, and it was a collaborative effort with that department, with the FIED and health department on the interview committee.
Any other discussion? Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Travis made the motion, Jay seconded to approve Brooke Natras's contract by roll call vote. Jeff? Is that a yes? Okay, sorry, I can't, you're muted. John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Pam, yes. 7 yes. By roll call vote, motion carries to approve Brooke Natras contract. All right, approve continuing contracts, tenure for, first up, individually, Karen Marzon, BS, step 9. Is there a motion? I'll make the motion then. Is there a second? Okay.
I'll second, Pam.
Okay. Jeff Stangler had made the, I believe, heads up on that, made the second. So Karen Marzon, Pam Baker made the motion to approve Karen Marzon at BS Step 9, and Jeff Stengler seconded. Roll call vote. Jeff? Okay. John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
And Pam, yes. 7 yes, motion carries. Cheryl Reed, MS Step 4. Is there a motion to approve that?
So move.
Second.
Jay Schneider made the motion, Gary Michael seconded to approve Cheryl Reed, MS Step 4. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff? John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Pam, yes. By roll call vote, 7 yes, motion carries. Rachel Wentland, ES Step 5. Is there a motion to approve Rachel?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Oops. So Travis Bowman made the motion, Pam Baker seconded, Rachel Wentland, BS Step 5. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff? Okay, John? John? Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
And myself, yes. 7 yes, motion carries. Next item is Josh Smith, MS Step 5. Is there a motion to approve Josh?
So move.
Is there a second?
A second.
Thanks, Gary. Jay Schneider made the motion, Gary Schneider Jay Schneider made the motion, Gary Michael seconded to approve Josh Smith, MS Step 5. Any discussion? Roll call, Jeff? John?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Gary? Oh, did I mess up? Gary? Is everybody, did I do something?
We're just saying we're jealous of Dan's
Yeah.
scuba diving or snorkeling, whatever's going on.
Oh, background.
Yes.
You gotta come see this.
Okay, Gary is yes. And I'm yes. 7 yes. Motion carries for Josh Smith. I bet that's somewhere in Belize.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, moving on to Group D. These are approval of non-tenured teacher contracts. All right, first one on the list is Aaron Brown at BS Step 5. Is there a motion to approve Aaron, Mr. Brown?
Hey, Pam. This is
Gary.
Gary. Can we approve all these at once? I know nobody commented, but I'd move to approve all the teachers unless there's a.
I would second that.
Is there any discussion about making a motion to approve all of those and at one time? Is that acceptable, Dan? I know that, are you okay with that? Okay, I'm going to, so Gary Michael has made the motion and Jay Schneider has seconded it. Is that correct? To approve these contracts Aaron Brown, BS Step 5, Danielle Wold, MS Step 3, Kelsey Shufflebine, BS Step 3, Caitlin Vetch, BS Step 3, Catherine Brown, BS Step 3, Austin Nagel, .5, BS Step 3, Tyson Cooley, BS Step 10, Mary White, .6, BS Step 7, and Carrie Brown, BS Step 5. Is there a discussion? Oh. Did you say something, Travis? 'Cause-
I said so moved, sorry.
okay, so Gary Michael had already made the motion to approve all on the list, and I had Jay Schneider second that.
Okay.
Okay, but thank you. We'll save you for the next one. Is there any discussion on that list? Okay. And I don't enjoy going through each one individually, but if that's kind of how we've talked about it in the past. So I'm happy to do it 1 through 9. Any other discussion? Okay, then roll call vote for those 9 positions of non-tenured teacher contracts. Jeff,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Travis,
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Pam, yes. So 7 yes, motion carries.